question was, how about backing up stuff, or rather synchronizing files? There's going to be a lot of things that I want regularly backed up and off different computers. The big one in my case is the stuff that goes into here, the system backup. All my desktops that run in OS run some kind of incremental backup solution. Now in this case, I'm still going strong with easiest to do. And so this folder right here is a representation of the backups imaged of this desktop. Every day it creates an incremental backup, and it'll create a full one each week, so, and then delete the previous ones. So once this one starts full, but there's only 3 increments, once it gets to the final day and then it wants to create the next full one, it can delete all those, and so on and so on. It does it automatically. But I need to get this as a copy of this as is to the server, right? There's any number of ways I could have done it. I could have just configured it to save over the network drive or something when it creates the backups, but I didn't want to do that because then it's like, well, it's still the same problem. You only have one copy. It's just now on the server instead of on the hard drive here on the desktop, and so on and so on. So my thought is have it saved to the local drive like normal and create synchronized folders, kind of like a cloud storage type thing. So whatever happens in here changes on the server's storage as well. And I found a way to do that. Originally, I wanted to do it with Aomi because they had a real-time file sync thing. It didn't do what I wanted it to do, though. Namely, if there was, say, 10 files in the folder and it synced them up, and then you add a new folder, it would add it. But if I deleted one, it didn't delete it. So it didn't mirror it. It just kept adding stuff. And it was this guy, file sync, and it just didn't, I couldn't find a way to make it do what I wanted it to do. But I do something like this to begin with my music collection. For my DJ PC, I've got a copy of all my music, as well as like the Tractor, the DJ software, and the amount of data that it holds for every individual song in its database. Like I keep all of that information synchronized in its multiple copies, and I use it through this little fucker right here. It's called Free File Sync. Now be careful if you install this, because it has PUPs, potentially unwanted programs, for installation. So you got to be installed in a sandbox if you do. First, just to see what the installer looks like, and then go from there and when you're familiar. But you can't run it in the sandbox and have it access your file system, I don't think so. So ultimately, I did just what I said. When I go into this NAS shared drive, there is my backup, and I have it titled as Hyperpsychosis Jesus. And this folder is just a direct copy of that system backup folder. And it utilizes this guy. The actual program itself looks like this, if you want to see. It has 2 rows. You put in a folder here. It could be over the network. It could be off a different hard drive, whatever. And I think it supports SFTP, so I might even be able to use this to do some form of backups from the data store, if I'm able to, the same way I can do with WinSCP and stuff. I don't know for sure yet, because that's another complex problem. I haven't found a comfortable solution yet, is a proper way to back up virtual machines, but that's to be worried about later. There's nothing that critical in this case, and nothing that can't be done and redone and just simply cloned over to a second drive and we're good. Can't solve, so that's fine. And I have a batch file, so like when you do this, you can hit compare and it will compare the two folders. If this one was empty and this one had your files, it'll show nothing here. And it shows you what the difference is, what files have changed, what files were added or deleted. And then you choose up here, right? Either you want to mirror it, it's just what I'm using in this case, meaning whatever's going on in this folder, that's what's going on in this folder, but not vice versa. So if I say came in here and deleted, say, this file right here, it's 1.4 gigs, I would hit compare and boom, now there's something that's not in here. And when I hit synchronize, it'll synchronize them. I took this a step further though. Obviously you're not going to be sitting here manually, so the batch script got saved. There is a real-time sync. I haven't used this yet, which may even work better as far as like a cloud storage type of setup where you want it real-time sync, kind of like if you had a Dropbox account. But for this purpose, I don't want that. This is backups are being made only once a day, so I don't need it to be constantly real-time anything. It's just, I just need a copy, sent over. Okay, see how when I double-click this, it started doing this thing? This is the file, the batch script. So when I saved it, it created this icon. I double-click it, and all it does is it does exactly what I just showed you. It does the check, and then transfers the difference and applies the changes. So now it's doing you can see right here, it's got a TMP. Once it's done downloading the 1.4, and it was pretty fast. There's only one hard drive. There's only one 7200 RPM hard drive, and it's like every virtual machine is running off that hard drive as well. So it feels, as a network storage solution, to be extremely effective. No worse than if I was transferring between two of my desktop PCs. If not, potentially a little bit better, but I'm sure there's more complications in regard to that. But yeah, like it does not take long to copy large amount of data between these two, between anything and this network share, which is fucking awesome. As opposed to say, I want to make a PF Sense copy and I use the vCenter to make a clone. It takes a long time, and I don't know exactly why and all this fun stuff, but yeah, so I'm very happy with that. And then all I did was create a task manager. I went in and I created, wait, did I just type in task manager? God damn it. Task scheduler. My head's not on straight. And yeah, so because I have a single double click program to run, and it'll do the syncing, and I can edit that. So when I edit with free file sync, I can add additional folders, compare this to this, do the changes, but also compare this to this, compare this to this, and you can add as much as you want. So like, once I have the full thing deployed, I would be able to have all my desktop PC folders set up in a similar fashion, all under one task batch, because they would all function in the same way, right? Don't save. So I could do that with a lot of different things that I need to, where I want to copy, a backup copy, but I don't necessarily need the real-time thing. I don't need it where if I copy something into this folder, copy it into the cloud, so to speak. But I think I can do that with this free file sync. There's a million different ways to do this kind of stuff, but yeah, this is how I'm choosing to try it out, and I'm very happy with the results thus far.